And here we go. I'm speaking with Shuja Baker, a Detroit native, a cultural historian, published author, and a design engineer with several decades experience supporting product and system design for many different projects. Shuja is co-founder and co-director of the African Restoration Project, an African history and culture-based organization with almost 2 decades experience hosting weekly cultural events in Long Beach and Pomona, California, with periodic events in Los Angeles and the Inland Empire. Shuja is also a small business owner with a product design and prototype manufacturing company called Virtual Design and Prototyping. His publication credits include his newest book, Building on the Work of Our Elders and Ancestors, and the children's series STEM and NIM, and the 7 Principles, where he explains and advances his work to promote the Nguzo Saba 7 Principles as a Black job or daily code of conduct in the Black community and beyond. Welcome to Root Work, Brother Baba Shuja.
Thank you, Sante Sana, Sister Tandy. It's good to be here with you.
This project, Nguzo Saba 365, actually launched earlier this year, and for a variety of reasons, I was not able to get to you, but we coming to you now, just in time for Kwanzaa,
yes,
2025. And again, also, like I said, we've had several conversations, you being here, even though you're a Detroit native, you being here in Los Angeles for a number of years, you know what people say about Kwanzaa, and you know what happens every year in December.
Yep, like clockwork.
Like clockwork, we can count on it. We're going to talk about that too. So knowing that you believe that the Nguzo Saba, also known as the 7 Principles, which most of us associate with Kwanzaa, right? You believe that they are principles for living. You describe it as one of the ways of thinking about it as a Black job for daily conduct.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Why is that? And I'm going to add on to that. Not only why do you believe that, you are an engineer. You've written a book dealing with STEM. So, you know, we hear about the divide between the scientific mind and everything else. So explain to our audience, please, why you believe the Nguzo Saba should be, must be principles for daily living, why it should be a Black job.
Well, thank you for both of those questions. I tried to take a couple notes so that I can make sure I answer them both, give it the adequate attention that it deserves. And I like that second part of that question. I'm really looking forward to responding to that. But to address the first part of it, why I believe the 7 Principles should be treated as a Black job is simply this, Sister Tandy. Anybody who's familiar with the 7 Principles, unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith should know that if we practice those principles consistently, certainly beyond the 7 days of Kwanzaa, then we would have guaranteed improved outcomes. There simply is no question about that. So we believe that if we embrace them around Kwanzaa and then apply them beyond Kwanzaa, to the point as mentioned of being like a Black job, that we're obligated to fulfill every day, then a lot of the issues that we have would be resolved. There's no question about that. I believe we believe that we would then find ourselves approaching or becoming the best possible version of ourselves, through the daily and consistent practice of those teachings. And that by doing that, the record shows that when Black people are at our best, the world follows us, right? And in that way, we become the people that we've been waiting for to inspire the type of change that we work daily for, Sister Tandy. They're simple, they're universal principles. They have an African foundation in the context of the Nguzo Saba and in the context of Kwanzaa. But any people who are about the business of doing anything meaningful for themselves can embrace those teachings. They certainly didn't have their origin around Kwanzaa. African people have been talking about those very principles and more, related for centuries and eons, decades, millennia. So it's not like it's brand new. And the construction of the 7 principles, or the compilation of the 7 principles as a set, there's uniqueness to that, of course, but that doesn't change the fact that the principles themselves have application beyond Kwanzaa. In other words, they're not owned by anybody,
Peace, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? Coming to you live. Friday remix. Like, share, subscribe. Support us on Patreon, Black Liberation Media, if you can. I have good news, everyone. Amber is on the way. So just be aware. She's lost in an undisclosed location, but she's safe and she'll be here soon. I am comfy outside because I don't want to wake up the house. Merry Christmas, Umoja, Happy Kwanzaa. For those who celebrate, that was from Root Work with Tanda Sizwe Chimaranga talking about the Nguzo Saba. It was really cool. I wanted to highlight that. As they said, these principles are not owned by any one person. Okay, so if you want to make jokes about Karenga Claus, go for it. But as we try and create African and new African traditions, it's cool to understand where they came from, what the intentions were of the founders, and things like that. Last Friday show of the year, Geechee couldn't be here, getting some well-needed rest. Breakfast will be soon. I'm just having tea right now. So it's a chill stream today, as some of our streamer affiliates would say. But we do have some stories. Some serious stories and some mess. We'll go back and forth between the two. Starting with an update, an unfortunate update, but one we still have to cover. And so a few weeks ago, we had the team for Chris Payne come on, not his lawyers, but his advocates, organizers on his behalf, to discuss his case, to discuss injustice in Japan's criminal legal system, things of that nature. And unfortunately, Chris, who we thought would be getting released and on his way home, was not released. So we have this update. Chris's 34th birthday was December 17th, so we can wish him a happy belated. And on the 17th of every month, there is a letter writing campaign. So letters like snow. On the 17th, we flood Chris with letters of support. Very important. I believe he was in solitary for some time, so this might be some of his only way to form community. So I will be sending one. And just reading the update, Again, links and sources are in the show description. On December 11th, the Tokyo High Court refused to make a definitive decision on the DNA forgery and instead sent Chris's case back to Chiba to be tried from the beginning. We were hopeful for acquittal, so this decision has been devastating, but we're not giving up. Now more than ever, Chris needs our help to keep his spirits up. December 17th is also Chris's 34th birthday. A reminder that another year of his life has been stolen by an unjust system. We will share more details as soon as they are available. In the meantime, please write to Chris. So that is what the campaign is asking for right now. And it's sad, but we will probably have the comrades back on to discuss it in the future and provide us any updates. All right, what we got on the run sheet for today? Let's see here. And we have the check-in question from Keontae from last time. And if we have some time today, I'll probably drop the chat link so I can be joined by the infamous chat on stage. But what'd you miss, Old Grease? You haven't missed anything. We're just getting started. Well, you did miss an update on Chris Payne's case, so check that out. A few minutes back if you want to rewind. But let's see what we got on the run sheet for today. This is Geechee's comrade, who we're going to have on. Again, Geechee's taking a much-needed break today. Also, Instagram's linking feature is broken now, so it's very hard to see videos on here. So let me take a second. Okay, let's see. Okay, I have some stories queued up. I'm saying that Amber will be here soon. So instead, what I'm going to go through is my Christmas reading list. And those of you joining in the chat, let me know what y'all are reading. If you have any time over the holidays, that's usually when I get to catch up on reading. Because otherwise, it's work. And you got to force it. But now I got some free time. So I wanted to go through some stuff I've been reading, books I recommend, and then I want to get some recommendations from the chat because I got some book money for the next few days. Peace and good morning, Terry. We're just going over holiday books, my gifts, what I'm going to be reading over the next few days. So we got, so this, if y'all aren't aware, there's the Florida Historical Society, which is obviously what it sounds like, an old history society in Florida. And they got some young people doing some good work there, but they've been publishing a lot more, providing a lot more information. I think it's pretty cool. How many books am I going to read, Amber? That's not a question I want to hear right now, okay? It's how many I have, clearly. This is America. It's capitalism, all right? I don't have to read them. I just need to make my bookshelf look good. Anyway, Mary McLeod Bethune, Her Life and Legacy. I like this one. It's pretty excessively written. They all kind of write in this style. Like, this is very straightforward style with pictures and headings and all of that. So it's pretty cool. Highly recommend that from the Florida Historical Society. I cannot vouch for the politics of the author, but Mary McLeod Bethune has some important history in Florida. And I'm also interested in our new African people and how we are tied together across borders, usually across space and time, right? So the back of this book says, "For I am my mother's daughter, and the drums of Africa still beat in my heart. They will not let me rest while there is a single Negro boy or girl without a chance to prove his worth." Mary McLeod Bethune. This doesn't sound very ADOS. That's very interesting. No, this is not an autobiography, Amber. It's Nancy Ann Long who wrote this. That's very interesting how when I read our ancestors, the ones who are pure 100% Afro-American, usually, I don't know, maybe, is she Caribbean? I actually got to check that out. But I believe she's African-American. I'm almost positive. But she sees herself in Africa. So always soda, as we say, the reverse hashtag. So that's one book I got. Bam, bam, bam. Peace, everyone. As we coming in, we talking books. He raised on 7th Avenue, named after her. Yes, yes, yes. I'll also confirm. I just got to check. I'm pretty sure Mary McLeod Bethune is African American, which is why that quote about her seeing herself in Africa is so powerful. Let's see her background. She was born in a small log cabin near Maysville, South Carolina, a rice and cotton farm in Sumner County. Yes, absolutely. She was the 15th of 17 children born to Sam and Patsy McLeod, both former slaves. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I'm reading this. This one, I'm gonna knock it out. You always gotta have one that just warms you up. If you haven't read in a while, get one you're like, this, I want to read it. Looks interesting. You get back in the habit. Not even 150 pages, which is also how books should be written if they're supposed to be accessible to the public, in my opinion. So shout out Florida Historical Society again. One of my books. This one, which if it's always funny finding our BLM people out in the field. So this was by a political prisoner, David Gilbert, white political prisoner. And it's looking at the U.S. white working class historically. Amazing book. I've been through it already, but I'm going to do a reread. Super short, as you can see. And it's excellent. And it's excellent because of the subject matter. I've been having all sorts of debates with the white left, unfortunately, about how they need to read their history to understand that we are an internal colony, that you can't have MAGA socialism, that anti-imperialism is not American if you study history, and that means studying your own history. So in this book, looking at the white U.S. working class historically, David Gilbert is very dialectical. The table of contents are here. It's really cool, hard to see, but he talks the context for the Trump phenomenon, and then he does looking at the U.S. white working class historically, starting with who I started with, because again, the white left don't study this, Theodore Allen, a white scholar, socialist, who studied white history. And so he wrote The Invention of Whiteness. It's a 2-volume work, long as hell. I read volume 1. I'm not going to lie and said I wrote volume 2. That's capped. And it's really good. Anyway, he advances a really good thesis about whiteness as a working class control tool, as a identity, obviously as settlers, but also has like an economic, a social, political function. So he goes through that. So he starts with white supremacy in the U.S., slavery and the origins of racism, Ted Allen. And then he goes Black Reconstruction by W.E.B. Du Bois. So this is David Gilbert reviewing all these works. And then he goes into Settlers, the Mythology of the White Proletariat by Jay Sakai. Some lessons from the 60s, and then after the 60s, reaction and restructuring. So highly, highly recommend checking this out. Great book. It'll scare the white leftists, not the right revolutionaries. There's a difference. All right. Got this one right here. Florida Civil War, Explorations into Interpretations and Memory. I've had this up the whole time. My bad, Dre. So that was about Mary McLeod Bethune, Florida's Civil War, Explorations into Conflict, Interpretations, and Memory. And this one's just going to be about Civil War. Oh, that's right. Where's my dog? Who was it who said last time that Florida isn't the South? I want to know. I want to see who it was. I'm going to go back and find it. This is the petty in me, like Jared. But this book, Florida Civil War, Explorations into Conflict, Interpretations, and Memory, is about Florida and the Confederacy. And guess who was the third to join the Confederacy? It was Florida. So I'm going to talk to my RNA elders, comrades. I want to understand why Florida is not in that black belt. We got to figure that out. Okay. I got to figure it out. But yes, Florida, very much the South. A lot of Confederate history here. Something I forgot to mention last time. The word cracker, maybe it comes from other places, but it 100% comes from Florida as well. There is 100% of history here of Crackertown. That term, cracker, comes from Florida. And actually, you know what? We got some time. While Amber is still navigating her way here, I'm going to show y'all. and then we'll get into some nonsense probably. Your doctor wanted me to cover that Jake Paul knockout, so we might talk about that, but I want to wait for Amber. Then let's see here. Let's see. Also, I probably will drop the link in the chat for people to join the stage throughout today. Everyone wanted me to cover the knockout? Fine. We could do that. If you want to join on stage while Amber, the star of the show, arrives, let me know. Okay, let's see. Is Florida the South? Absolutely. All right, so check this out, y'all. This is from this excellent series, Just for Receipts. All right, obviously we have to give our ideology to the history they provide. But Florida Frontiers TV, yes, terrifying name, by the Florida Historical Society, but they have a lot of great information. So this is episode 36 on cracker culture, which came out of Florida. And it's really interesting because crackers are working class whites, often known as like the settlers who are like middle management and they're drivers on plantations and things like that. But they also were these kind of rugged that's not the term, like rugged frontier folk, settler folk, not individualist. Because the way they had to survive off the land was pretty interesting. Anyway, Florida cracker culture, we could give this a few minutes so y'all can see why I mean Florida is the South.
The O'Galley section of Melbourne, Florida. Preserved as it was in the early 20th
This
century,
is so creepy.
Historic tours of the Rossiter House include antiques, artifacts, and family heirlooms, and the 1865 Houston Family Cemetery. The last resident of the home was successful businesswoman and philanthropist Caroline P. Rossiter. The historic Rossiter House Museum.
All right. Anyway.
What does it mean when someone is called a Florida cracker? Many people believe the term refers to pioneer cowmen cracking their whips. Others think that the name Florida cracker comes from the practice of cracking corn to create dietary staples of early settlers. It's also possible that William Shakespeare created the word cracker in his play King John from the 1590s. Welcome to Florida Frontiers, presented by the Florida Historical Society. I'm Ben Brotemarkle. Whatever its origin, the term Florida cracker is used both positively and negatively. In its broadest sense, Florida cracker is the name for pioneer settlers and their descendants. These pioneers were mostly of Scotch-Irish heritage and first arrived in the 18th and 19th centuries.
We know that the word itself is very old. It's 16th century Old English. Cracker had an extra E in there, but it was a term that the British Crown and the Spanish Crown used to describe these rogue white settlers in Florida and the Southeast. And we actually have historical documents that describe these people as crakers. The word goes way back, though. Even Will Shakespeare used it, and if I can remember it, I think it was King John, the play, where he said, "What cracker is this that deafs our ears with this abundance of superfluous breath," which is a nice way, of course, of saying somebody was full of hot air.
The term cracker, when students, teachers, parents hear it, more than half, you can see their eyes light up and their eyebrows will raise, because unfortunately it has become a derogatory term in the past. But that's part of the education here, is that we explain the process of how the cracker term came about. And the pride. Florida crackers are very proud that they are Florida crackers, and it is a way of life, a heritage that has gone through many years and developed over time.
The earliest documented usage of the word cracker refers to a braggart, a boaster, and a lover of tall tales of Scotch-Irish descent. The term evolved to include unauthorized white settlers who came to Florida before it was named a United States territory in 1821.
By the time the Spanish and the British were settling Florida, it became known as a word to describe these rogue white settlers who paid no attention to the authority of the crown. They would tell them where to live and they wouldn't live there, and they would tell them they couldn't live in a place and they would. And we have letters going back and forth to the Spanish and the British crown describing that.
The independent spirit of the crackers came from their Scotch-Irish roots. Escaping war, poverty, and religious oppression in the 1700s, they emigrated to the Carolinas and Georgia, with some making their way down into Florida. The life of a Florida cracker was challenging.
Daily life, just like in this house, 1880, everything the family did, and it was the mom, the dad, and the children, from the minute they woke up until the minute they went to bed, they worked. They worked here on the farm. And anything they ate or wore or used, they produced themselves. The only way that they would raise money was through sugarcane grinding and selling sugarcane syrup. So if they needed something that they could not make, like bricks or something, they would store up the syrup, take it to town, and that was a big day to go to town, and either trade or sell their syrup.
Well, it was hard. I don't think they ever considered themselves impoverished, though. They just considered themselves pioneer stock that essentially had to live off of the land. And every once in a while they would go into the town and get some store-bought food, which is usually coffee or sugar or something like that. But it was a difficult existence, and many of the crackers were subsistence farmers. They raised hogs. Later, they were cattle farmers, cattle ranchers.
One of the jobs of the children was to sweep the yard, because the grass was could help the fire. If there was a forest fire, there needed to be a fire break. So the children kept the yard, the area inside the fence, completely free of grass and shrubbery. So it was a very difficult way of life.
If you live in Florida with no air conditioning, no running water other than a pitcher pump, you can imagine that times were tough, and the people had to be tough or they wouldn't make it. I'm not quite that old, but when I was a youngster, I had neighbors that had no electricity, and we had no air conditioning. And now I look back on it and I don't know how we did it, because if I had to go without air conditioning now, it would be very difficult.
They had the ability to settle and subsist in very, very challenging areas throughout the Southeast. And
all right, that's enough of that. But that's Florida Historical Society. It's an episode called Cracker Culture. They go on to say that people are now proud of being crackers, which is hilarious. And then, they're all painted kind of neutrally here, but you can see these are just settlers, like they're early, state settlers. They haven't accumulated enough, they haven't done enough primitive accumulation yet, but they're just settlers. And they end up being employed by white capitalists to, of course, enforce the white supremacist hierarchy and, terror on us. So it's just very funny how a lot of them do, of course, get pushed off the land, wham. Some of them who are settlers don't get to stay on settler land. But yeah, you can see they were working class, which is why I think Malcolm's analysis, don't blame some cracker in Georgia, take your issues to Uncle Sam, makes a lot of sense, right? Because he understands the class dynamic. Even though his family was terrorized by crackers in Georgia, it was under Uncle Sam's leadership that happened. Anyway, all right, back to my books that I got for Christmas. Okay, last one Black Cloud by Elliot Kleinberg. It's about the deadly hurricane of 1928, claimed 2,500 lives, and the long forgotten story of the casualties. As told in Black Cloud, continues to stir passion. Among the dead were 700 Black Floridians, men, women, and children who were buried in an unmarked West Palm Beach ditch during a racist recovery and rebuilding effort. Palm Beach Post reporter Elliot Kleinberg has penned this gripping tale from dozens of interviews with survivors, diary entries, accounts from newspapers, government documents, and reports from the National Weather Service and the Red Cross. What got my attention was immortalized in Zora Neale Hurston's classic, Their Eyes Were Watching God. Thousands of poor Blacks had nowhere to run when the waters of Lake Okeechobee rose. No one spoke for them, no one stood up for them, and no one could save them. Oof. With heroic tales of survival and loss, this book finally gives the dead the dignity they deserve. So it claims. I will read. I will read and check. We got somebody tapping in with me live today. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him to the stage. Oh wait, he brought himself to the stage. The ear doctor.
Yo,
What's up?
what's good, bro? What's good? I see you holding it down. I was like, one for all for one. We can't, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you. I saw they shut you down last night. Or was it it was Christmas Eve?
It might have been. It was pre-recorded, so.
Oh, you didn't notice? People were in the chat like, where'd the party go?
Hell yeah, I did see that.
Like about an hour in. It was nice though.
I did see that, man. I was, it happens. That's the risk we take with playing certain people's music, So you get a little bit if you're there. If you're not, But Umoja, am I right here today?
You are correct.
Kwanzaa has started.
It has begun.
Yes. I was like, wait a minute, I don't put too many years in this Remix Morning Show. I was like, I don't see nothing but my man holding it down. What we doing? So just make sure you straight.
People traveling. Appreciate you.
No doubt. No doubt.
You want to stick around for this first story, Amber? What's
up? Are we bringing Amber through? She ready?
Amber's ready to come through.
Let's give it up for Amber. Fix your face. Adjust it. There we go. Hey, sis, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Doing great. You look like you in somebody's hotel room.
No, not at all. This is somebody's house.
Oh, really? You got a nice bed.
It does.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Clean design in the background. How you doing, Amber?
I'm doing fine. Ear doctor, your Christmas mix was really good yesterday. I put my family onto it. We were listening to it yesterday morning.
Really? Thank you. I'm glad y'all had a good time.
Afternoon.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of Christmas parties and I had a whole bunch of Christmas music. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and give y'all something. So I'm giving everybody else something.
We deserve.
What y'all get for Christmas?
That tank?
If you do the gifts. Do y'all do the gifts?
Who?
Y'all got Christmas gifts?
Oh, no, I don't.
You don't believe in capitalism, so
Yeah, I mean, I like I tell everybody, I just give my kids some money like last week and say thanks for doing a great job for the year. I went over there and hung out with my kids and watched them open gifts that they gave to other people and sat back and just enjoyed their smiles. I was good with that. I ain't no Grinch. I ain't trying to bring everybody else.
No, I mean you said no gifts, but you gave money. Come on. Some people want that just directly.
I gave people money too, so
that's what I'm saying. They don't want the back and forth. They just want the cash.
You prefer that? Like really? Like I don't want to. It's almost egotistical for me. Yeah, it's almost egotistical for me to think I know what you want. In a way, like let me give you money. You get what you want and be happy.
I think it depends on the relationship.
I think it's egotistical. I think that some people just don't. Yeah, some people don't like put like all that effort into figuring it out, or like I don't want to, figure out what specialized thing you want. If I know you kind of like books, I give you a gift card to a bookstore. Like I'm just not gonna do all that extra stuff.
True.
But what about people close to you? Because like Amber, you got a twin. I was gonna say like my brothers know me well enough that I'm like come on. And like my brother was in Brazil, so he gave me stuff that like that's something that's different because I couldn't just get it on my own. So I had to use his taste while he was somewhere I couldn't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know the
Yeah, my
person.
sister
That's the
knows
whole
like the
thing.
specific things I like. Yeah, and she's made me like customize things. Like she's painted me stuff before, or she's like giving me stuff. But most of the time, she's not giving me no gifts because she ain't got no money. So usually, she just be like Merry Christmas, and I be like Merry Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. Gift cards and money. That's how you keep it going.
Yeah.
Everybody
And I
looking
got my mama
good
gift
though.
card. I got my nana gift card too. I got everybody. I pretty much get everybody gift cards except for my aunt because I had got her something specific that she asked for.
I got a gift I can show y'all.
Uh-oh.
That I'm
Let me
sending
guess.
y'all.
A book?
Of course, two. Actually. Of course. No. Actually, not exactly a book. Amber and your doctor said I was gonna mail y'all something. This is gonna be released next year, but this is Black Men Build's Wartime magazine.
Nice.
Years of Malcolm X.
Let's see that real quick. Bam.
Yeah.
Nice.
Check it
Okay.
out.
Wartime out this
Wait
piece.
to show us that.
Oh,
Dope.
of course not, man. This is a special reveal. This shit is crazy.
Okay.
But
got the Malcolm.
I'm gonna send y'all that.
Appreciate it.
Our centennial piece.
Yes. Our people are in here. You know who that is. If you pay attention, Khalid's
Building
in
fight
here.
formula.
You got a little. Who this? Who this?
Who's that?
That's Tulak.
Oh,
Tulak. Hold on.
I was like, wait a minute. Look at Mandela.
My bad. Hold on. I'm messing it up. I can't even get it on camera.
It's all good. We believe you.
I can't. Yeah, you believe me because I can't. Camera all flipped over. But anyway, great. Should be coming out to our cities and around the country and probably the world. Hopefully,
dope.
Coming soon. That was one.
The world, Craig.
The world. We know people around the world. Actually, I'm about to show you. What I mean. So we got this, which is the Black Men Build Centennial
Malcolm X
edition.
Study Guide, Generational Edition by Black Man Bill. Okay.
Absolutely. And what I mean is the Arabic right here. We had our Libyan comrade, help us out with that because there was a typo in that last one. So we got people, That's people. Malcolm is international, so we got international people. But a lot of our folks worked on this. It was an update from a 1991. So we got all sorts of art, additions to it. Malcolm in Africa.
Okay.
I'm not doing a good job showing it off.
We see it.
Oh, Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana.
Well, me and you are going to go over this, Amber, but I can actually show it because that wartime is new, but this is actually live on our website. On Black Men Build. This is a 35th anniversary reprint. So you can actually...
And do y'all have it in other languages too?
Amber, you already thinking ahead. That's next. I already got a comrade who could do it in Creole. I need Spanish. Chat. I need some Spanish, and we need Arabic, and of course, we'll need some African languages. We just need to figure this out. But we are talking with some folks who are in the community and can put this out there. If you are in Miami, it will definitely be a Roots bookstore in Miami. So that's a Black bookstore in Liberty City. If you haven't been, check it out when you're down here. And it's cool. Got the introduction.
Speaking of roots, I see you started the show off with root work with Tandy.
Sure did.
Yeah. So y'all do Kwanzaa? Y'all go to any events? Yeah, I go to the events.
I've done it in the past, but not consistently.
But I've gone like once or twice to like one of the nightly services because there's like a group that does it every single night in Memphis, and there's a group that does them like on the beginning, in the end, and like one in the middle. So I've done those.
Okay. What about you, Lord?
I've done it a few times, but not consistently. It's hard to find. Well, I mean, where are you
again?
Because I'm in Miami.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure I'm sure it's somewhere, but I don't see,
unless they got a Spanish Kwanzaa. I don't see that happening.
You're not coming on here because he said Lord was lonely.
No, I seen him listen, you know how many times I came on this
That
show
nigga
and
was
had to
fine.
almost
He
do it
just
by
said
myself?
he just told these people 8 times I was on the way. I just got a little
Yeah.
lost on the transit.
Amber, you saying you don't want me here?
Trying to take the
Amber, you
metro.
saying is that low key saying you don't want me here?
No, I just was trying to point out that you made it seem like we had left him in a lurch or something.
So why we talking about old stuff?
Cause I feel like anybody else that was by themselves, you ain't hop on like this to rescue them. But
Who
it's
didn't?
cool.
Who didn't? You must not been
You.
watching for the last 4 years.
I've been by myself before, and you ain't come and pop on.
Well, maybe I was busy. Today, I'm not.
I bet
How you
would.
doing, Amber?
The day after
I'm
Christmas.
doing pretty good.
Why you
How are
always coming at me, Amber? I even follow you on TikTok now. Now you gonna come at me like this?
I saw you follow me yesterday, and I said, "What is man randomly follow me?" It's because I make great videos. I get it, but I'm not coming at you. This is just regular discussion. Are you not okay with being held accountable for your actions?
Oh, see, that's that shit right there. See, yeah, drink your tea up there. I see you. It's all good. It's all good, boy. I love it. Let's go. I gotta do the Kwanzaa song. I'll be going to Kwanzaa plays. This is a lot of. We in Atlanta. Come on, it's Kwanzaa.
Wait. We are joined right now with the person behind the thumbnails, y'all. So we have to cover the story. We have to. Hold on. We have to cover.
Oh, yes. Mama said knock you out, and he did.
On that jab, just like that. Back to the basics.
It really is. All right. Don't let Netflix ding you now.
Yeah, you're right. We go.
We know what happened.
The music. Yeah. Hold on. Where's the end? That's what I'm trying to.
There you go. Wow.
We gotta get the end at least.
She's gonna happen. And it
Yes, sir. With the smile.
Yep. Nod him off. Merry Christmas, yo. That was a good time.
The Great White Hope is down. The Great White Hope is down.
Not the Great White Hope. They be calling Jake Paul the Great White Hope.
Not if you actually watch the Dave Chappelle joint, you would see that they was talking about the other white guy back in Jack Johnson.
Somebody in chat just said, I watched that Chappelle stand up and you gassed that one ear doctor.
Talk about that. Hold on, wait a minute.
Imagine that A-Rob.
This is one of the rare benefit of capitalism. That's why the commission allowed this nonsense. That's the only reason in a sane society, in a socialist society, no commissions allowing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do you think the commission allowing them to stream it on Netflix?
I mean, the commission allowing this to even happen. This is like a random person versus arguably number one in the sport.
Wait, he's a random person? I thought he was like kind of a known boxer.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he's turned himself. He's a streamer turned boxer. So it's a streamer turned boxer against LeBron James. Like, let's be real.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
He had money to cut the line.
It don't make no sense.
I can believe that. Yeah. He was like, you know what? I got a bag.
And he's fights for Nate Robinson, 60-something-year-old Mike Tyson, who people still think threw the fight for some money, by the way. People still, you think Mike Tyson could have won that?
I don't even know, but I know what it is. It's like WWE. It's wrestling boxing. It's pretty much set up to make it more exciting. He's like the Jim McMahon of boxing right now. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to get this bag. I'm going to make it more exciting. Boxing has been falling off. It's been boring. So let's make it exciting. Let's bring out Tekashi 6ix9ine. Let's bring out Freeway to do rapping and bring him in the ring and give you all this, that, and the third. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and he got, $92 million for a broken jaw. Would you do it? Sure, a lot of people would, unfortunately.
For a broken jaw.
I didn't think he was gonna whoop it like that, but he did.
I didn't think. We all know it's rigged, but if I had saw him lose, I'm just like, okay, like it's just.
You think it's rigged? So do you think the Bud Crawford fight was rigged?
Crawford, nah. Crawford do his thing. Crawford, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, nah. But AJ, the fight before that, he took a fall.
Yeah.
So that's why
he
took a fall. That's why I was thinking, he gonna do some shit. But I think he was just like, yo, I'll extend the fight so it'll make it look like it's something, and then I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. And that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, Paul already beat Tyson. I don't know, maybe because of the age is the only reason I can believe it. Honestly, I think Jared was enjoying himself a drink after that one. But yeah, I think this, James. I think Tyson took a dive. For that paycheck. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, I think he could have fought better. Yes. I think he could have won. No, I don't think he would have won. I think he had the skill to like last longer and fight better, but I don't think that he would have won because he said he wasn't like practicing and stuff.
That part. That's true.
So I think that's the biggest thing. What I'm even more surprised about is when niggas be like, you be watching boxing. Why do people think that women don't watch boxing? First of all,
why wouldn't they watch two men in the ring with no shirts on? Duh.
Actually, I like watching the women fighters, but yeah, that too. Anyways, I had commented.
We got our first like off that comment. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate that.
Well, while y'all liking, y'all could go ahead and check the super chat out and send some love if y'all got time.
Oh yeah, do that. Since I showed up, I didn't want y'all to think I wasn't coming. As Lori said, I was definitely on the way, and I arrived. So now is the time to like start doing your super chats.
That's that watch.
Is it?
Yeah. But I was saying I had commented on somebody's story about this boxing match, and he was like, "You don't even watch boxing or something like that," because we had talked about it before. I was like, "I definitely watched this fight." He was like, "You never even heard this before you talked to me." I was like, "I definitely heard of it before I talked to you." I don't know why men think that like
I know it's one of those. He's one of those. Shut up.
The women's fight that night was the best fight.
It was one of my friends. So one of my friends boxes. She actually lives in Atlanta, and she boxes. So that's why I started paying attention to boxing a little more. I've seen like fights before, but I started paying more attention like last year. And the women boxers be more interesting.
Yeah.
If you can tell anything from ESPN sports commentary, it's that even the people paid to watch this stuff don't watch it. That's for sure. Like they don't know what they're talking about half the time on the screen.
Hold on, wait a second. I didn't even know there was two of them, but also one of them went to Japan to find dead bodies in the suicide forest.
Yes, and got in trouble. It was a whole thing. Jake
Why was he in the forest looking for bodies?
Because it's he's a streamer. Like they used to just get into these.
What's suicide forest?
It's apparently a place in Japan where Japanese people go to commit suicide, and so you can find bodies in there. Allegedly, I'm not sure because I didn't look too far into it, but I know he got into some hot water because he was out there videotaping himself, which disrespects the bodies. He's in another country, you know.
When you say that, I'm just imagining the samurai just taking the knife, the sword, and like
seppuku. No, I think it's more haunted. I think they are hanging.
They just really just jump off.
My bad, unalive.
And yes, very content warning to this. But yes, I can look up the story. But it's two brothers. It's Jake and Logan. That's why they're playing this whole
story.
I don't want to. So
I don't pay attention to white people, so I didn't know that he had a brother.
And I do because you gotta know.
His brother's a wrestling guy. Yeah.
Oh, he's ugly.
That's him right there. All right.
They're Disney, these Disney looking kids.
I was definitely like they were Disney Channel stars.
Yeah, and now they turned into this. Mark Zuckerberg's having his own midlife crisis.
Wait, those are two different white guys in that picture?
Yeah, come on, Amber.
First of all, don't do this to me.
They do. I mean, they do look like
they're brothers. They do look alike. I was like, yes,
they're happy and they're singing and uncolored. Give them a high five.
Oh.
Yeah, they look.
They will do that series. Actually, they're dumb enough to try.
Logan is on this side, on the left side.
Yeah. Jake is the red. Logan's the blue.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. See, I didn't.
How old are they?
All right. Their picture is killing me. Thank you. Sorry about that.
They're not attractive. I mean, I feel like the boxing thing really
28 and 30.
Like made him a little more attractive. But
Logan's
30. He's 30.
Yeah, they grown.
He looks 45.
You look older than me.
Whatever
that MAGA racism stuff is aging.
That's what I was gonna say. That's kind of what they are. So.
Aging them.
Yeah, your girl Nicki Minaj about to start looking old too in a minute.
Oh,
they already look old.
Yeah, that was
talk about MAGA aging
from all that cocaine.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, she also has always hated gay
I
people, but
also feel
like,
like she's a great example of when you choose a dummy and platform them. This fool that got on the stage talking about some, and JD Vance is a good assassin. You're not even making no fucking sense because you're on drugs. Stop letting this lady talk. And that's why some people do need to shut up and rap.
all on
Because
drugs, Amber.
what are
That's
they talking about?
we know they are. That's the whole vibe over there. My whole thing was there's certain parts of our communities in every single fan base that are self-hating, unfortunately. And like even when
Yeah.
these people do horrible, horrible stuff, like very disrespectful stuff to us. I mean, look at us and Kanye. A lot of people who are still fans of him with the Confederate flag, with the Kim Kardashian, all of those things. But with Nikki, she's always like had this sort of like hatred for queer people, and yet would always keep them close. It was always that kind of thing. And
I
so
was wondering that. It seemed like she give them props, but
it's a very capitalist thing. I mean, I've seen Beyonce pull this move, but I felt like Nikki pulled it quite a bit. She's leaned in her fan base being these young queer folks, usually young queer boys and things like that.
I don't know. It don't make sense because most of your a lot of your dances are most likely going to be what's the term? I don't want to get in trouble over here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He said, "What's the term? You mean gay? Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, gay.
Hey, so many words you can't say nowadays. I'm an old head. I don't,
You can't say gay.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
happier than happy. I'm gonna say that.
Yes, queer,
I
gay,
agree
lesbian, trans,
with
all those
A-Rob's
folks.
comment that
What?
the way she realized what she said in real time was hilarious.
Oh, the assassin comment?
Erica Kirk, stupid ass, can't say, like, yeah, that was some dumb shit you said. So she is looking at her like, it's okay. We love you. No, it's not okay. She sounded stupid. And it don't even make I don't even understand what she was trying to say about the whole assassin thing. Like, none of the comments she was saying lined up or made any sense. So she's just up there just talking. It was stupid. I was like, bro. And I didn't see her full conversation, so I don't know some of the other stuff she said that people were saying was like anti like gay and like homophobic, because I didn't see the whole thing because I'm not going to watch the whole thing because I'm not going to give you no views. But I did see the clip where she was talking about Trump is good looking and JD Vance is an assassin. And I was just like, oh, she's...
Yeah, that's the paycheck. I was like, man.
But you could tell in her reactions, like her face and stuff, she was on drugs. Like she was like struggling to get her words out and make sense.
That is true, but our people do that without the drugs. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
they do, but
the paycheck is what it is. And people are all like, oh, you mad when Meg was twerking for Kamala? Yes, we were. Welcome to Black Liberation Media. We were.
It's like, God damn, we can't do nothing without some goddamn twerking. You can't get no attention to nothing. Politics, twerk.
I don't understand what's wrong with twerking.
It's not a problem to me. It's who you twerk for. That's what I said.
You ain't got to show your ass all the time.
Huh?
Who they twerking for though? And also, she did.
Oh, I was just joking about the comment. Meg's performances are going to be Meg's performances. They dance, they all those things. I was just saying.
But she didn't even dance in the performance. She just
walked
like,
out. 100%.
Because
she has that whole. She has to play. She knows the Democratic Party game. Beyonce made that very clear. She has the business thing in the WAP video. I think they do the whole thing where they go at a congressman with this girl boss kind of feminism thing. Yeah, you know, she's smart. She ain't gonna be twerking. But the whole point is performing for Kamala.
It's that word pandering. That's what they
pandering. There you go.
They're pandering, and they're like, let me say I got hot sauce in my bag. Let me bring out this person on the stage. Let me get this. You know, this is some bullshit.
Pander. Yeah. No question.
I think I had something on because I didn't know he was a promoter.
Could you read it out for the people that can't read?
I was about to. I was gonna read it out. He said Jake actually is a boxing promoter of women's boxing. He pays them better than the other promoters too. Does that mean like promoter isn't like promoting for fights, like pays them to fight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, you know, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, because he's getting paid, right?
I'm not surprised. Yeah. And I'm sure he knows that like by paying them more, he's more likely to get people who will do fights. So he just being a capitalist.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if he got Shields in the ring with Layla Ali. I mean, that's the big thing everybody really want to see.
You think she really gonna do that fight?
Layla's not going. Layla said if the bag is right, and I'm sure he can find the bag to make it
I
right.
think she's lying. I saw that too, and I don't think she's being honest. I think she's just saying that like as a comment. I don't think she's gonna get in that ring. Because I feel like she is showing people, she going to a lot of matches. She is showing people that she's a match goer, not a fighter. Like she has been going to a lot of matches lately, taking pictures with fighters, stuff like that. She not giving, I'm finna get in the ring anytime soon.
My thing is, she really wanted a boxing match, she would have fought Wolf. Wolf was a beast, and she stayed away from Wolf. So I don't know. Do she really want that smoke? Let's see.
Not.
Good questions.
All right.
What made you think about the Nikki thing?
The shut up and rap thing, because somebody in the comments were like, "How do you do that?" It's a colloquialism. You're supposed to laugh.
Shut up and rap. Oh yeah, like shut up and dribble.
Yeah, it was a joke.
I mean, whatever.
Isn't it hilarious? Thank you.
There are all the people who would say that rap is, it's something that can be used for liberation, all that. We shout those folks out too. But yes,
I mean, we gotta understand. We gotta understand that media does this just so they can choose our leaders, so we can get mad at each other, get mad at them, and realize that they're not the ones that we should be listening to anyway. That's why they put them up there to be like, oh yeah, this is your leader. Congratulations.
Chidi Macha said, "I got the joke," and that's because you're a genius. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, so what's interesting about the celebrity point, because a lot of people rightfully bring up Malcolm talking about exactly what your doctor just said, that our celebrities are puppets, not real leaders. But it's just interesting how celebrity culture has been something that's invaded like white spaces for just as long. Like I understand Malcolm's point looking inward to us, but I don't know if y'all have been seeing what's going on with Erica Trump and her whole background. But like talking about white leaders being celebrities, I mean, it happens. Like it's happening with the president. It's happening kind of at every level because of just how the system's been. But yeah, hang on, because I didn't have it unmuted. One sec.
Or Charlie. I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was.
You were proposed to by Charlie in 2020. You started dating him in 2018. And 3 years before that, we're dating this guy, Tyler Massey. I mean, you guys would do couples photo shoots. This is still online. And this is only 3 years before you started dating Charlie.
He's in heaven.
Yeah, and 2 years later, you were dating this guy, Cabot Phillips. And here he is posting you guys on his public page saying, yes, we're that couple who gets painting lessons together. Again, this is a year before you started dating Charlie, and well within the 5 year period you claim to have never dated anyone, but you were out here dissing your roommate for dating.
I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than I don't drink. I find it unproductive.
Why are you here drinking and dating on a reality show that actually was filmed the year you met Charlie? So you obviously were dating. So I'm not understanding your timeline. I mean, you're talking to a guy here who's asking you out on a date and you're taking his number? And here you are on your date.
I've honestly spent the majority of my life being one of the most sought after bachelors.
Ah, Hinge. I remember that.
Great. But I'm just really excited to spend some one-on-one time with Erica. I really do like her, and I'm excited to know her a little bit more.
Erica, hello? I just want to understand how
I really don't trust people that wear torture devices around their neck.
And you know the footage is out there. The pictures of your boyfriends that you dated are still public online. And you know that, but you still lie like this.
Stop.
Wait, isn't Cabot Phillips your ex-boyfriend? Why is he now the speaker of Turning Point USA? Leading speeches of how to lead like Charlie. What's going on, Erica?
Stop.
He's also the senior editor for the Daily Wire, the one outlet that your husband was having active beef with at the time. Connected to Netanyahu, so
stop.
Right. So what else are you lying about? Because you're a liar. Point blank, period. You're a liar. And we just proved that. So this is still publicly accessible on social media. And you lied about that. You also lied about dating, but you were on a reality show dating the same year you met Jesse. You know what I mean? What else are you lying about? Like bigger things? Are you lying about bigger things? Because it's small and you really easily with like a straight face, you're lying.
Wait a minute.
There's nothing in the world I hate more than a bad liar. Right Because as an amazing, impeccable liar, I can't stand a bitch that can't lie well. If you can't do it, just don't lie. Because we're gonna find out and they're gonna bust you out. Like she just did. And actually, this is the second video I've seen like this about Erica. I also feel like these like conservative people are forgetting that the internet lives forever and they got way too much juice on them. I've seen so many videos after Charlie got unalived about her and the stuff that she's been doing, like these events and stuff that she's been doing and where her kids at, because one of them is like a lap baby and no one's seen her kids in months. And she was like, no, I'm with my children every day. And they was posting pictures of kids with the nannies. I said, y'all be bad liars.
Yes.
Like,
to Stephen's point, lying while the truth is well documented is part of the flex, y'all. I partially agree with this. Yes, it does show how much power they have, but I don't think they want to look raggedy like this out here, y'all. Like, this is a certain psychosis you have to live with.
You don't want to get caught lacking this day.
Like, there was a comment, and I didn't highlight it, but it said that within 72 hours, Chris Hemsworth apparently posted a screenshot, and I'll verify that she slid in his DMs talking about a shoulder to cry on, wink, wink. I don't think that's like something that is a flex for real when he just exposes you like that. I just think you're out of your mind. So
I think that they be thinking that they're untouchable, kind of like going to what Stephen was saying. They think they're untouchable, so it won't be a big deal. Moja. Put it back up.
Moja. Abari Ghani has Oil House.
Moja.
Yes.
I love Kwanzaa. So I really like that you played the video in the beginning because I really love Kwanzaa. It's one of my favorite holidays. And I agree with the like rhetoric around like, you know, we shouldn't push folks against celebrating Kwanzaa because of like who this person that supported themselves as a leader, you know, who they are and what they've done, because Black women created Kwanzaa.
Exactly.
And it was co-opted. And I think that it pisses me off the most that Black women's intellectual property continues to be disrespected over and over again. And I think that's the biggest thing we need to be uplifting in this time, is that like, this was Black women's work. And we, you know, we'll make all these posts getting on this man and the stuff that he's done, but we're not making enough posts about actually it was invented by these people and these are their names and here's what they look like. Like I don't ever see any of those posts. So just want to say that too.
Since we're talking Kwanzaa real quick, can I share with y'all what I did 20 years breaking down every day of Kwanzaa? Here we go.
The name's Unaka. I deal with the Gufu Saba. The 7 social and spiritual principles of Kwanzaa. The first word we honor is Umoja, that's unity. The language that I speak, East African, Swahili. But really, it's about race, family, community. Coming as one, living in harmony. Kuji Chagalia, self-embracing. But the meaning of the word is self-determination. That's like facing the mirror, defining who you really are. And speaking your mind, cause you are a superstar. Ujima, collective work, responsibility. We gotta build our community. Leave a legacy, your problem is mine, that's how it gotta be. Ain't on me, it's we, so let's cooperate and get money. That's Ujama. If we support each other, then we'll never have hunger. Me, that means purpose, having a reason to exist, knowing what your worth is. Ka'uma's creativity, making what you can with what you got, beautifying your community. Imani, the 7 principle mean faith in your people when the struggle, cause victory is great. So let's make 7 days go year long. Put truth in the action and we can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, got shots. So there go your 7 days of Kwanzaa. 20 years ago, I did a Kwanzaa play and did a Kwanzaa album with some people. So yeah. Thank you, It's Art with Words. Appreciate you. But yeah, Kwanzaa is a year-long thing that needs to be celebrated, really. Like you really, like certain principles in life that we need to get back to build community again, to build family up. Because family is the most revolutionary thing there is.
Depending on how we define it, but I agree. COINTELPRO holiday. So be modular. Check out Rootwork with Tandasizwe Chimaranga. We've covered this before, and it was at the beginning of the episode talking about the origins. Tandy's interviewed the victims, so see her work and see how come she still respects the holiday, and decide for yourself what you want to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you, y'all?
Period. Yeah.
Don't argue about what I'm doing. Just do you.
Did you have a comment that you just raised, Amber? I'm sorry if I put it down. Erica was the brains.
Yeah, Chitty Macha said Erica was the brains behind the outfit. Charlie was a high school graduate, and she has a BA, master's, and about to earn a PhD. She didn't want that man, and now the money and the power are all hers. I agree that she definitely didn't want that man, and that she definitely want the money and the power. But I do think that we should stop underestimating people just because they don't have college degrees. I know a lot of high school graduates or people who didn't even graduate high school who are not stupid, who are actually very, very smart, and people underestimate them because of those things. And they're like, oh, they didn't even graduate high school, or they barely graduated high school, didn't even go to college. They're not that smart, and they underestimate them. And then they come in and create Turning Point USA and build this huge legacy for conservative youth that has like turned around the Republican Party and created this huge wing of supporters and conservative people on TikTok. Like, he was able to do a lot. And I don't think it's because of Erica Kirk. I think he's just not stupid. He can move people. He had a way of like being able to talk to folks, to use strategy. I don't think that was all Erica. So I do want to say that I think that I hear this argument a lot actually for conservatives and Republican folks of like, they're just a dumb white boy. He didn't even go to high school, and they prop him up on all these national stages. Da 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 da. These people are not dumb. They didn't get on them national stages by chance. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I think I hear Chitty Macha's deeper point, which is that there's probably a experience, power, age dynamic going on. But I do think that he's not doing anything a white boy from high school couldn't do. I think that's the main point. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, he debates like the white boys I went to high school with. So to say he's a high school graduate doesn't surprise me. I don't think it's hard to plug and play into this game and the role he's playing. So I hear both points. But I hear you, Amber. Like, yes, he knows what he's doing.
I'm more so meaning is I just don't want people to underestimate someone because of that. Because I do think that we don't consider lived experience as important as important as we should. And I feel like a lot of the Republican conservative people that I've come into contact with or I see online, they aren't like college educated, but they are very smart and they are very strategic.
Yeah, and
they coming from a long history of white supremacy.
Most people would say, Dr. Wonder, if you agree, people go to college for job opportunities anyway. So if he found a way to get paid before the college degree, like, why is he going to college?
Exactly.
I mean, I would for the social aspect too. I think some people.
Yeah, the networking and all that, but he found his own way to network with those same white people that he would have networked with if he had went to college and got spanked and joined a fraternity or something. You know what I mean? Some steps.
Hey, can you bring Brittany's comment back up, Lord? I'll tell you put a star on it.
Yes, I wanted to bring this up with y'all.
Yeah, I'll read it. I think Kwanzaa does not appeal to Black people as widely in Christmas because there's no cute little characters like Santa, Frosty, Rudolph, or even the Grinch. Now, to that, I was thinking, I see something coming in, but you can take it off screen. I was thinking, like, do we really want it to be co-op, like Juneteenth? You know what I'm saying? The more commercial we make it, the bigger the corporation is going to be like, oh, they celebrating this? Okay, let's get some more money. It's the end of the year. Let's get all our money. Here's another holiday that we can get some money from. So I don't even know if really want it to be spread and put out like that.
Yeah. Amber, what do you think?
I think I would say I do think there is symbolism. And I've seen symbolism like in different like Kwanzaa like programs and stuff. I do think that it's not the same type of like popularized commercial symbolism, but I do think it's the type of symbolism we should learn about. Like, I knew about Ndinkra symbols and stuff like that before celebrating Kwanzaa, but I felt like more closer ties to it because I understood like what Ndinkra symbols meant and like Swahili and stuff like that. So I do think that there are like symbolisms involved in it, but unless you're going to like a Kwanzaa program, I don't really think that you see it. And I think that if you like don't have a community to do it with, then it's a little bit harder to see like what kind of like characters or things go with it, because there are like stuff that goes with it. Like they give out gifts and stuff at the little program. I like the cornucopia, like the fresh fruits and vegetables thing. I really like that. Like that's one of the main things they do at the program in Memphis. Like they make a soup out of like farmed vegetables and stuff from our community garden, and like talk about that along with the principles of like, Umoja and building like self-determination. Like this looks like us planting our own garden and taking that food and building a meal for our community. Like I think those things are there. I think it's just not as popular as folks would like, and it will require you to learn some stuff. Like you do have to like actually do some study to understand what they're talking about. But yeah, there's no like cute, Santa or
They need a mascot.
I don't think
Kwanzaa needs a mascot.
Maybe like you said, you're not, but does that kind of corrupt it to some degree?
I don't think you need a mascot. I think that there's symbolism there that people could popularize a little more, but I don't think that the mascot thing is necessary.
But the thing about a mascot is like you recognize a team, you recognize Cupid, you recognize the 4-leaf clover guy.
You have the candles that you light, like that.
Yeah, but it's
already.
That's true for Hanukkah. They just have the menorah and the star. So, but I don't know.
Hanukkah doesn't have they don't have a mascot either, but they do have.
They got that
the
candle,
star, the dreidel, the gifts, the candle things. Like we have the same thing for Kwanzaa.
Candles, So I mean, I think it is a matter of just us spreading it in our power. But to the point, though, I do think it could be possible if our people were able to imagine it. Like my whole thing would be, it'd have to be a bottom up thing. Like someone draws it and we spread it around, and then everybody like adopts it, like grassroots style. But I think to the point of a Rudolph or a Santa, we covered this on this platform with Jared, but those were inventions. Like literally Coca-Cola invented them. The Charlie Brown thing that I saw a bunch of black people doing the dance to, which was hilarious. Yes, exactly. But they did the Glorilla. And that was invented by Coca-Cola too. So the fact that we do know Santa and that Santa is spread everywhere.
Everything,
yeah, the marketing team is big. Big up to A-Rob real quick for sending some love right here. 1999. Just want to thank BLM for having me on so many times this year to discuss what's going on in Durham. When local media shuts me out and villainize me on behalf of the predator class. Big up to A-Rob.
Yeah.
Also, A-Rob ran a really great election for city council. I just want to say that. Like, I really like watching the videos of them from like forums and stuff. They was really on their shit, and they need more people running like that in Durham.
Shout out. I was wondering about this, y'all. Whites do not allow celebrities to influence their politics in such a negative way that they lose rights or become more marginalized. What do y'all think about that? I'm not sure I agree.
I don't think about the whites, but I'm too worried about the blacks.
It's true, but they affect us. When I'm studying the blacks, I'm like, white, there's always someone interfering here. So I don't know. What do you think? Amber, you agree with this?
Give us an example of what white celebrity.
I think that whites don't allow celebrities to influence. I do agree that I mean, I think it's obvious in like the Epstein file stuff, right? Like you see all these white people who are all hanging out with each other in Epstein, who definitely don't have the same views. They definitely don't believe in like what Trump is doing. Bill Clinton and was hanging out with each other, and they definitely didn't believe that stuff. So I think that they don't allow it to influence them. I think that actually something I'm seeing right now with the whole Nicki Minaj thing is a good example, because people have been asking other black celebrities, like, what do they think? And Lizzo made a video response and was like, I don't think y'all care, because people don't care what celebrities think of other celebrities. And I think that's a perfect example of what this person is saying, because white people don't think about like what people could think of their views around celebrities or them and other celebrities. They don't think about it at all.
They do like, elect them.
I was gonna say
they do elect them. I mean, going back to Ronald Reagan,
white celebrities don't think about what people around them would think of their views of other celebrities. Like they hang out with them, they don't second guess it. And I feel like until this Epstein file thing came out, they never even talked about it. They was all hanging out with each other. They're all friends, and they never mentioned it. And now that the Epstein stuff coming out, they're like, oh, that's not what I believe. Because Bill Clinton putting out 6-page letters and shit talking about we need to send out the unredacted files. Like now all of a sudden he cared because they own him. But I think that black celebrities are different. I think that they don't believe the same things. Like they do be like, nah, that's not cool. I don't believe in that. And Lizzo was the only person I've seen who said something opposite. But also Lizzo is a little whitewashed sometimes. So I think that has something to do with it. But all the other black celebrities have been going off on her. So I do think there's a very distinct thing in how white people react and how white celebrities act and black celebrities act, because black celebrities been going off on Nicki Minaj.
Well, I think that makes sense because of what we said before about the black celebrity class and this leadership class. Like they're a role and they mainly trade in influence of like the black population. So yeah, if they know something's going to be unpopular with the people they have to influence, they have to come out and kind of react that way and keep control. But I think what's interesting is like the Trump question, though. He's a celebrity, no?
Yeah,
And
celebrity.
Eric Kirk is a
Ronald
celebrity,
Reagan,
no?
Arnold
Ronald Reagan's a
Schwarzenegger.
celebrity. I think the thing is we're just living in like the settler capitalist society, and white people can do whatever they want, and they can just flow freely between things. Nigga Chalamet, he can now put on some shades and rap, and he can be in Dune next week, and he could, after he does Dune, maybe they'll let him be governor of California like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like I just
I
think
was
white
so
people can do
confused
whatever they want.
about the Timothy Chalamet thing because I confused him with Zendaya's boyfriend. And I said, why is Zendaya dating Miss Wigger? But then I looked up and I realized it's a different white guy, but they look a lot alike.
And of course he's in the video with Central C. At Ear Doctor, I don't know if
First of all, I love Central C, but that's also annoying too. Because I fuck with Central C.
Do you know what we talk about with this Timothy Chalamet nonsense?
Yeah, he's all around the place. I just seen him with the fat dude that do comedy. What's his name?
But also, since Central C got signed, he changed, and I ain't like that. I hate when that happens.
Man, Central C
he got the dye in his hair.
Songs, Toxic, Welcome to Brixton, all the good stuff that was on SoundCloud. They took it off SoundCloud when he got signed.
Drewski.
He putting out these like lame, like more mainstream songs, not really your more typical UK drill, and it's annoying. I wish he hadn't got signed, or like I wish he hadn't signed a deal that required him to take stuff off of other, like, what is it called, distribution systems or whatever.
He's a white boy, man. This was always his trajectory.
He's just white. Because his grandma
yes. This is what I gotta tell people every single time.
Listen, I don't know. His grandma was Jamaican, so I wasn't sure.
No, he's Caribbean fishing. Like y'all gotta stop.
Caribbean
That's what I'm saying. No. Go look at his video where he goes. He got a Chinese
Caribbean fishing. If that's his
yes,
grandmama,
he got a guy and his grandmama. That's it.
Well, then he got to drop a black in him.
Right.
No, he had to drop a guy. I got Indian and Chinese. He's Chinese.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
No. He ain't got no African nothing.
That's very true.
I never thought he was a black guy.
I just want to say cornrows.
I never thought Central C was a black man. I just thought he was mixed. Never thought he was a black guy. But when you just said he was a white man, I got confused because I'm like, he got a black grandma.
He got bone structure and he got cornrows. That's it. Yeah, we fell for it. Timothy Chalamet got the same. Timothy Chalamet get some cornrows, man.
I feel like this label made him do that because he looked better without them cornrows.
The label made him do it.
I feel like he's falling for the mainstream pushes of the label. Like, yeah, change your image to this, and because he a capitalist, he want the money, so he doing it. And
the mainstream image is to copy off us as a white boy, which is what I said.
And I ain't listened to him in like a year at this point because I don't like it no more.
Central C is a rapper that's from UK, I believe. Dre just said, I don't even know Central C is.
I like underground, like UK drill and New York drill music. So I found him on SoundCloud. And this was like several years ago. It's like 5 years ago I found him on SoundCloud. But then he got popular because, UK drill got popular a few years ago.
And he's white, Amber. That's why he got popular, Amber.
I mean, because all that drill music sounds the same.
Drea, Drill got popular too at the same time.
Who did?
Drea Mac.
Oh yeah, there's enough space.
Yeah, I'm saying like a lot of the UK drill artists blew up in that year. It was like
in a way, it's a way.
Everybody was listening to what happened. It was Cardi B had did that drill song. She did a feature on a drill song, and a lot of UK drill artists like blew up after that in the US.
Yeah,
and then he got signed. And Drea was already like signed because she's a dancer, like a professional dancer, and she was already like signed to some kind of distribution deal. And then she got a different deal. But I mean, I wouldn't say it was just him that got signed, but a lot of UK rappers got signed in that year and kind of flipped. And I just hate when that happens because I want the underground music, and now we're not getting it. Like the Welcome to Brixton type tracks, we're not getting it.
Yo, that UK drill is kind of whack to me. Hit him in the head like poo poo poo. Ooh, in it. I'm like, oh. I'm just tired.
You gotta listen.
Man, them in the West End.
We gotta listen to the Africans who make it. That's how I say. And I've seen you got to listen. My big thing about Central C is he exposes himself. He puts better rappers on his track and gets walked every single time.
That's
he did it with 21. He did it
ever
with
since he started adding them features. I said he's so stupid.
There's a video of him
out of UK is Little Sims. That's right.
Little Sims is. There's a lot of Davis. What I like is there's a video trying to freestyle and he can't catch the beat. And then Dave comes in right after him and catches the beat immediately. And that's all I got to say. And that's why Dave is with Trms. I believe. I don't know. I saw that might have happened. So shout out Dave. Santan Dave.
I just want to talk about Dre's comment because I agree. Unfortunately, I think it's fascinating that Cardi B has been able to be colorist, fatphobic, and whatnot, with not many folks batting an eye. And I do think that I've seen on some platforms like TikTok her getting held accountable, but on mainstream stuff, they don't be caring, and they should. But I also will say that she has been forced into some conversations where she's been like, "Okay, that was wrong," but someone has to hold her accountable, and that don't be happening because when that whole thing happened with Samira and her on TikTok, I really feel like she did not handle it well, and she took way too long to apologize and to understand what she was trying to say, what Samara was trying to explain, and she didn't handle fans attacking her well. Like I feel like if you know your fans are attacking someone and you don't speak up, even though you realize that they're wrong, then you're just as accountable. Like you're just as culpable because you know how these super cult like fans are. And they had got this girl to literally, she left the internet for like a month because she was getting bullied so bad over that Cardi B stuff when she was right. What she said was right.
Quick story, Oil House. Oh, my bad.
I'm trying to take
You
it
got
down.
another
Hold
one?
on.
Oh, you
No,
got
I'm
it.
trying to take it down. Go ahead.
Oil House said Idris Elba is a decent DJ. Quick story, about 2000, I got to do sound for Idris at Club Justin's. That was Puffy Diddy old club back on Peachtree.
No way.
Oh yeah. And this dude, he's nice, but he got so drunk we had to carry him out the club that night.
Oh, he just
because
gets
he was
saucy like
wasted.
that?
Oh yes, he was saucy.
Oh,
He was saucy.
that doesn't surprise me.
That's
So what else y'all got? I'm about to get out of here. I'm glad y'all got it together. I just had to come through and
We
say
already had it together.
Emoja.
I already let Lauren know 30 minutes before the show that I was gonna be late.
Whoa, I see my man Lorik. I said, yo, let me, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I came
He
through
fine.
this.
He got it. He'll show
Wait,
up
why
like
you
that.
acting like the principal coming to sit in your class today?
Who? Me?
I'm
acting
here.
like myself.
Well,
You're a little defensive right now, Amber.
I appreciate the team. Also, I'm probably
You
going to
just
see
not
your
used to being
doctor
held accountable 'cause you
on,
like
I'm
it.
There you
assuming, the
go.
29th, right? For our
December
telethon.
29th? Oh, yes, right. I'll be back here Monday as we do
Yeah,
the
I signed up for my
telethon.
time. You signed up for your time, Lord?
I will soon. I'm helping put the run sheet together and whatnot. So,
I'm just
Your doctor,
popping
you
up.
gonna do a mix?
Nah, I don't want it to get taken down. So I might.
You don't want to do like a little 10 minutes something?
We might. Y'all got to tune in and find out. Bam, got you.
yeah, we'll see. It is. Amber, I'm going to leave you with this story, or you can grab one from the run sheet.
Y'all have a good one. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
I'll be right
Bye,
back.
doctor.
All right.
I'm going to give you a 2-minute,
Let me look at the
2-minute solo, and I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Hi guys. I was looking at the run sheet earlier because there were some interesting stories on here, and I do want to talk about this story about teaching Black kids at AVE because I don't agree. So there is, I don't know if y'all are on TikTok watching this, but there's this Black mom on TikTok right now who's been going viral, basically making this content about her daughter who grew up in the suburbs. She's like a young baby. She grew up in the suburbs, and so she doesn't know AAVE. So I'm gonna play the video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Oh my God, not try to start asking other questions. Let me see. Somebody said, hey Amber, any updates? Which dusty nigga bust you down this week? No one's busting me down because I stopped talking to most of them. They're annoying. I actually hate men. Unfortunately, being mean to men is really fun. So I haven't done anything. Also, I've never talked about somebody busting me down on here, so you're weird. But I will say that my roster is similarly the same. I just get annoyed. One of them, I don't know. I don't like people who are like over 30 and can't communicate clearly. And one of them will like make an excuse for not doing something. And when I ask about it, they be like, oh, well, I just didn't want to ask you about it. I was afraid to ask you. Why are you afraid to ask questions? You're a grown adult. That's weird. Secondly, the other two don't live where I live. So I have to schedule that when I hang out with them or see them. So I haven't seen them recently, but I still talk to them. Other than the guy who went off on me because I hadn't been talking to him, Nothing's really going on. I always find it interesting though that men who can't regulate their emotions will go off on me because I haven't talked to them versus just being honest and saying that like, I miss you. I miss what we had. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. And we haven't talked lately. But instead of doing that, they call me and like be all passive aggressive and then start going off. I am on topic. I just wanted to address it. Somebody said she is distracted. I'm not distracted.
Are you? What did I walk into? What story is
I was
this?
waiting on the Instagram video to load up, and somebody asked me for an update on my roster. They did say busting me down, which is fucking
Okay.
wild because I never talked about that. But I was just saying that men are annoying. That's all. But I had the video pulled up. I want to talk about this girl, the one that you put in here about the AAVE thing, because I actually don't agree with it at all. But I wanted to show people.
Wait, really? Okay, we gotta talk about this.
So I came across this video of a black mom teaching her daughter African American English. And of course, the algorithm being as messy as it is.
Hold on, let me go up and then back down and see if it.
Refreshes. Okay.
I really hate this feature.
Oh, I don't like how they redid Instagram at all. It's very annoying.
No, I really don't like it.
Really
it's stupid.
annoying.
Because it didn't used to be this difficult.
No, and it also doesn't. The links don't work anymore from the run sheet now. So
it's working for me. It's coming up. It's just like it's hard
for me.
to
For me, it took me to my Reels page over and over. So I got to figure that out. All right.
Okay, here you go.
I'm about to go to the stove.
Peace. So I came across this video of a black mom teaching her daughter African American English. And of course, the algorithm being as messy as it is, I scrolled by and came across another black mom who was calling the other black mom a heifer, allegedly making mockery of AAVE by teaching her daughter how to speak. This is not about to be a clapback video. Instead, I would rather take this time to encourage the positivity of willfully, consciously, intentionally teaching black kids how to talk black. To the mother who's being criticized and clowned for teaching your daughter how to speak African American English, keep doing what you're doing. We cannot maintain that African American English is a language while at the same time claiming that it can't be taught, that what's understood don't need to be explained. They'll just pick it up on their own, by osmosis, by association. They'll just magically know what they need to know, not only in the language, but about the language, which is a fallacy. You don't need instruction to communicate. Communication is simply the conveyance of thoughts or ideas. And a baby can communicate by crying, but crying is not a language. A language is by definition a structured form of communication. And you can't pass on a structured entity without instructions. It's right there in the name. We as Black people have to serve as our children's first language instructors. Language immersion is important to learning a language, but language immersion alone will not teach you the components of the language. As a language instructor myself who focuses on Black languages, some of the questions that I'm asked the most by Black people: why do Black people say this? Where did this phrase come from? What does this phrase mean? I've been saying it my whole life and I don't really know why I've been saying it. It's just what I heard. How many self-deprecating jokes have you heard talking about made up words and phrases that Black people use that don't make sense, but kind of do make sense between us, only to find out that those things actually do make sense even outside the context of Black vernacular. We just didn't know about it because we don't pay attention to etymology. But you know who does know all of those technical components of our language? They do. They being linguists, and not only Black linguists. We're setting ourselves up for them to know more about the inner workings of our language than we do. So while we clown on these middle-class Blacks and these suburbanite Blacks and tell them they need to just go visit their cousin down south as if everybody can just do that, just know we can't complain about losing recipes if we don't know the recipe in the first place to use it, then lose it in the second place.
Yeah, I got thoughts. So curious to hear yours, but the comments are exactly why I wanted this story to get covered. So go ahead.
I don't agree. And I also agree with KJ. You have it or you don't. This is weird to me. I do think that is weird to like change how kids talk. So I'll just say, for one, I grew up in a suburb. I don't talk like any of my cousins. I'm still from Memphis and I still understand AAVE. I don't think that you have to alter how someone talks for them to like fit in. And I do think that it's weird to like be altering her language, because to me it also says that like how you're talking isn't correct versus like being like, you know, some people pronounce their words like this. They're saying the same thing. I also think that the little girl ain't stupid. She can understand the words that her mom is saying are the same thing that she's saying, and she can understand what the instructions are. Like, I'm finna go to the store. She understands that she's finna go to the store. I don't think that she has to like learn to speak like that. And I do think that it's weird to change her language in that way, because to me, it also assigns this identity to Blackness of like, and if you don't talk like this, you're not Black enough, which I do think can cause identity issues for kids. Because I know lots of kids who were raised in the suburbs who are Black who don't speak a lot of AVE, but they understand it, and it doesn't make them any less Black. So I don't agree with like altering her language. I think it's okay to like say, hey, this is how some people say these words, but like making her say them in that way, she was obviously uncomfortable, because I actually have seen several of the videos. She's very uncomfortable. I also have a issue with the fact that the mom is really doing this for content. I don't think she ever cares about the girl really learning how to say this in AV, which is really what's bothering me, because I have an issue with people, with children not being able to consent about being on the internet. Like, does she know that she's posting these videos on TikTok? These videos are going viral, like mega viral. So she's making money off these videos of her daughter. And a lot of people are making jokes about her kid in the comments or checking her or talking shit. And I think that that's inviting the wrong kind of attention, when realistically, we should just talk about how, like, you know, some people use AAVE, some people don't. That doesn't make them any less Black.
All right, I hear you, and I have some star comments that I think are pretty aligned, so I'm going to push back because I disagree. I actually I agree with, let me start where I unify. I agree with all your critiques of content, of children consenting on the internet, of all of that. I think, unfortunately, that's a critique that's going to apply to a lot of this. So I absolutely agree. Like, it's weird. Everything being done for content now is happening. We even talked about last week braiding. Like, you can see braiding tutorials now, which is cool, but then somebody gets forced to do it for content. This happened with Black Girl Magic as well. It was a saying. A lot of people understood it. And then the Black wine moms got it, and it corporate girl boss, and it turned into a horrible thing. So I agree with that. Where I disagree is all the people saying we can't teach it, because the argument that this brother, who I think is Geechee's comrade, so he can come on and continue this discussion, but his argument is that it's a language. And my whole discussion of us being an internal colony, a nation within a nation, is that we have our own language, patterns, cuisine, all of these things that make us a different people. So to me, what you're saying is similar to when people talk about patois or Creole or even Spanish. Yes, you can understand that other people are speaking the language, but you can't speak it yourself if you're not taught. So I don't think, I agree, it doesn't make you any less Puerto Rican if you can't speak Spanish. But we do know that because of colonization, there's a reason you can't speak Spanish. So when we're talking about all these suburban kids, those kids didn't choose to get born outside of their community. Like I talk about in Florida down here, they put an interstate in the middle of our community. And that's why we're forced everywhere. So I do think, actually, just like I think there should be Creole classes in the community, Spanish classes in the community, there should be AAVE for people who don't have it. So that's why I was like, this is fine. This is normal. And yes, she's uncomfortable, but I think she's uncomfortable because potentially, if this is a suburban child, this is the dissonance of somebody who came from this experience that she's dealing with. You have this very Black experience at home, but then you go to school and everyone around you, including white kids, is telling you you're faking it or you sound wrong or some weird shit. So I don't know this child's background, but part of that discomfort could be her mom actively helping her deal with some shit she's dealing with in school. And to that last point, I'll just
push
say
back even more, because
yes,
I actually do agree with what you're saying, that it's a language. What I'm saying is, I don't agree with changing someone's language by saying that, because what you're doing, what you're saying isn't Black enough. Because the sentiment that her mom is using is that she is not Black enough. She needs to learn AAVE because she's a suburban child. That is how her mom has been talking in the videos. That's my issue with the setup of it. I think it's perfectly fine to say, hey, this is an important language you should know as a Black child. I think it's not okay to say you're not Black enough because you don't know AAVE. You should learn this. You're talking wrong. You should say it like this. That's what her mom is doing. She's not saying, let's learn this language that's pivotal for you as a Black person. She's saying, you're not Black enough as a suburban kid. You have to talk this way. And I think that's what's making the child uncomfortable, because she's like, well, I am Black. And you can you see it, because I will say I've watched about 20 of these videos. It's a lot of videos.
Got you. You've seen more than me. Yeah.
It's like a long part series. She's been doing this for a while, and she's made other videos just talking in general about her baby. Because basically, she married a hood nigga. The hood nigga and her moved to the suburbs to raise their kids. That's basically
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like at the end of the day, I agree with you. It's just like, well, why is the reason your child is in the suburb? Like the child is confused because they're like, well, I'm not the reason. I'm not black. You are. So I like, yes, it does. I do agree. Mess with a child's psychology, make them insecure in their identity, and all of that. And she should do it in a positive way, and not on social media. So sorry,
that's my only quick
yeah.
with it is the setup of how they're teaching her. And I saw a comment in there about like suburban people should stop with like the self-hate and stuff. Luckily, I didn't grow up in a suburb like that. Like I'm not bougie. I don't have self-hate. I didn't grow up I went to a school with all black people and mostly like Latina kids. So I mean, although we lived in a suburb, it wasn't a lot of white people, and we all talked like this. And realistically, I do agree with what the guy was saying about etymology, because I think etymology also teaches you that how you speak is actually not necessarily just where you grow up, but it's also the people that are around you. I talk exactly like my mom. I sound just like her, but my sister sounds like my nana. Like, so sometimes language and how you sound is just based off of like your family. But the community I grew up in use a lot of AAVE in the suburbs. Like, it wasn't like something we didn't use, and I use it occasionally. Sometimes I don't. It depends, on the situation. But I also think that like I spent a lot of summers in my grandmama's house with my cousins in South Memphis. I still don't sound like them. So even the idea of like you need to send your kids down to the South for the summer, that's not always true, because I spent a lot of time with my cousins who have very, very thick North Memphis accent and South Memphis.
You're not. It's a summer. It's not. I mean, I think I still agree. You should go down south for the summer and do all those things. But yeah, it's not going to
go for the experience, but like it's not going to alter how you talk.
Right. Well, that's like saying if you went to Jamaica for the summer, you could come back speaking perfect patois. Like it doesn't work that way. And that's my whole point. Even to this question of, because I see people pointing out that it's different from family, even within the family, as you pointed out, from city to city, from borough to borough, all of that. But to me, that's just a question which is always interesting about this for internal colony, one versus internal colonies. Chicago's an internal colony, Liberty City's an internal colony, Memphis. So all of these places are going to have these regional differences. I think it makes more sense to understand this that way and to be like, okay, well, which part of the diaspora, because that's another thing, did Jamaicans move into this community? Did Dominicans move into this community? Because that's going to affect how the dialect emerges too. So I actually think it's the best way to counter a lot of the ADOS, FBA stuff by respecting us as a sovereign people, but then also being like, yeah, but there's mad differences and all of that. So, but I agree. I definitely hear you. We 100% aligned. I don't think this is the way to do it at all. But I do think it sparked a good combo. So
no, I think it's actually going to do more damage and confuse her more than she thinks. Because I agree with what Brittany's comment says. Talking white or speaking proper has been forced on us in so many ways that I don't see a problem with mom saying you need to learn AAVE to get more in touch with blackness. I think that yes, as long as you're not saying it as because you're not black enough. Because the language that she's using is that not only do you need this to get in touch with your blackness, is because you aren't black enough. Like you aren't talking in the way that you should be, and you're not going to be considered black without this AAVE.
Right.
But I do think that it's a good tool to use to get in touch with your blackness. Like to be connected to it and understand what's happening around you.
And to your point, is like we're no experts, right? So like that's what I do love the videos to back to the social media thing, but unfortunately I'm exposed to it this way, where people talk about slang from different communities and do impressions of each other and stuff like that. Because again, I think if you're traveling from colony to colony, you can pick this stuff up. And that's how hip hop has worked, right? Until now every other culture takes it and steals from it, and we know that's the system. But before, like, yeah, people saying hella, people saying dead ass in Miami now. Like, part of it is the fact that our culture spreads from place to place, and then it gets stolen, and then white people call it TikTok slang or Gen Z slang or whatever they're calling it now.
They be calling it whatever the current generation is. They be calling it they slang, and I'd be like, no. It's not.
Yeah, what was the word I heard the other day? It's like someone said this is Gen Z slang. I'm like, my uncle said this word. I gotta remember. It's a lot of them though.
Because I also think like older folks who don't know it would just assume that that's just them young people and how they talk, and that's not true.
Oh, I wanted to get into this real quick. So like the difference between labor, like Oh my God, I can't. Never mind. None of my stories are loading. I'm gonna try and find them, but it's hard because Instagram changed.
Which one is it?
The one on the soldier and the nuclear submarine.
Oh, okay. I was looking at this earlier and I was like, what is this? And where do you be finding this stuff at? What part of Instagram do you be on?
My algorithm is very interesting. I also have sources like
Oh,
Josh in the chat. Shout out Josh who laced us with some stories today.
period.
Appreciate you.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
finna
if you can pull it up because I can't. New Instagram.
Purgatory, daytime and nighttime don't exist. You lose track of time. Once you go underwater, you don't come back up for
Can you
2
pause?
days now. I was a Royal Navy Marine engineer submariner for 4 years, and I spent 160 plus days straight underwater on a new.
Oh yeah, just refresh it. Sorry.
Living underwater on a nuclear submarine. Life feels like purgatory. Daytime and nighttime don't exist. You lose track of time. Once you go underwater, you don't come back up for 200 plus days now. I was a Royal Navy Marine engineer submariner for 4 years, and I spent 160 plus days straight underwater on a nuclear submarine. Your family can send 1 email per week printed on paper, but you can't reply. We get a sheet of weekly news, usually football results or UFC. That's all you know about the outside world. Your skin goes pale for months without sunlight, only artificial light. Being hungover takes 10 times longer to recover. The recycled air on board is so pure that anything that smells travels through the entire boat, and when you smell fresh air again, it stinks. There's around 150 people on board. Corridors only fit 1 person at a time. Girls are allowed, but there was none on my submarine. You get 16 seconds in the shower total, and when the fresh water system breaks, 0 showers. Everyone uses baby wipes. These are the toilets. There's 9 people per room, and it's tiny. Trainees share beds. It's common for people to sleep between live spearfish torpedoes. This is what the captain of the submarine's room looks like. This is what a standard officer's room looks like. Some compartments feel hotter than the Middle East and some colder than Antarctica. And sometimes it literally rains on the submarine. Condensation drips from pipes constantly. It got that bad. We had to put buckets down. You're allowed to bring personal items, phones, although you don't get any signal, guitars, gym clothes. I brought £200 worth of corned beef because I thought it'd get me jacked. Qualifying gets you a £5,000 bonus and a shot of whiskey poured over metal dolphins you have to catch with your teeth. The routine is 6 hours on, 6 hours off, no days off ever. I work 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. every day. Days go fast at the start but feel like years at the end. There's 2 washing machines on board and the engineers run the laundry. All rubbish gets stored in 2 rooms until the end of patrol. The water we drink on board is called demon water, completely stripped of its minerals and doesn't taste the same as water you get from the shop or the tap. We have to deep clean every inch of the entire submarine multiple times during patrol. There's an Xbox and TV on board. FIFA is the most played game. We have thousands of movies and TV shows on the hard drive. This is the medical center. We have 4 meals a day and each day has the same menu. Wednesday was curry night. Late into patrol, food rationing can start and people also run out of stuff like toothpaste and shower gel. When the good food runs out, they bring in what we call space food, dried up blocks of mystery meat I wouldn't feed to a rodent. There's also a safe on board with jelly beans in it. We even celebrate Christmas underwater, as you can see with the Santa hats and the Santa outfit. The gym is just equipment cluttered next to the missiles. In rough seas, the whole submarine, rocks and equipment has to be chained down. Even the beds have seat belts. You can't spend any money except in a tiny onboard corner shop, so you save a fortune. We constantly drill for fires and floods. We wear breathing masks a lot. If somebody dies on patrol, their body stays on the submarine until the end of patrol, and if a crew member's family member dies, they don't get notified until the end of patrol. Let me know if you want a part 2 and I'll make it. This is everything you need to know about living underwater on a nuclear submarine. Life.
Okay. Ooh.
Why did you see this?
Shout out Zenzabel. Well, I'm always interested in labor in general and a lot of talking points around it. So, of course, I want to know the conditions of workers. But the question is, are soldiers workers? And I get that a lot the same way people say, are police workers? And the answer is no. But I think with labor, it's confusing. Because if someone saw this, right, or it's clearly labor, like clearly a lot of work is happening. But what Daruba and others explain is that they're armed agents of the state. So your labor is for the military. But I think there's some confusion around this where people say that like these people don't work, like police don't do labor, like soldiers don't do labor. But clearly there's labor here. So that was why I was interested in this piece, just to see like some of the lives, like this life sucks. And so my whole thing has been all these people we sit in a hunk of metal in the middle of the ocean when they could be a service corps helping our rotting climate change addled infrastructure, right? Like they could be doing, if you can live like this, bro, let me put you in Oregon right now where there's the flooding. Like you already know how to live in these kind of conditions. That's where your labor should be. Instead, it's in a nuclear submarine. So that was why I was interested in that article. But I mean, that video, I saw an article about it after. But did you have anything that stood out to you? I saw you laugh at the jelly beans thing in that video because it was crazy.
Because why do they put them in a safe?
This is my question. And then I don't know, man. Like that feels like that kind of thing they do to test you, and then you open it and there's nothing in there or something like that. But I don't know, man. That's interesting.
I think it's a
That
lot
one was
going on.
weird.
But I
That's a
also,
lot
I
going
guess
on.
I needed more information on like what is a nuclear submarine? Like that's the ones that carry the nukes.
Yes.
So they just own there guarding them, or
Yeah, maintaining the ship, guiding it around, going wherever the corporations in the
yeah, I
Pentagon
don't
tell
feel
them
like
to
that's
go.
labor. I feel like you're saying they're purposely committing themselves to like colonialism and protecting the missiles to destroy other people's countries. Like, I don't have really any like grace or whatever for them. Like,
Mhm.
you're
Yeah,
purposely
I'm more
making this
interested
stuff.
in the understanding, right? Like people who think labor equals a job, and definitely don't join the military to dissuade people. Don't change them from the inside. That's not how that works. But I do agree. Yeah, just my whole point is that these people are often fairly disciplined, um, have a lot of skills, technical and just work-based skills, like, just able to do labor. And they could be doing all sorts of things. Like this person says they could be cleaning plastics out of our ocean. Like, but instead
But they're
they
not.
are right doing this. So I just wanted to point that out
How
about
far
what
down
we need.
below are they? Like in the water?
Right, exactly. And then this question immediately should answer the question. So, are police and soldiers a part of the labor movement? All you had to do is study labor history and see no, every single time they play a specific role that is
No.
not on the side of labor. So, definitely appreciate you, Siraj. That was
Yeah, that's why I started his comment, because I think that although I don't agree with police unions being included as like part of the labor unions, but that's like a big argument in a lot of places. Like when they have
right.
union orgs, the police unions are part of that. And I'm like, why they're part of that?
Yeah. And I also think that the purpose of the union just makes it clear they're armed agents of the state, because the union isn't supposed to blindly protect workers. Right. Like
Mhm.
that's also a thing. It's supposed to create a democratic environment where certain standards are upheld and the workers can control. If you do something, you get out. But that's
Yep.
not what happens in this case. In this case, it's like you get all sorts of, there's just no punishment, all sorts of back pays and leave this department, go to another department, et cetera, et cetera. So, Josh had a comment about the new submarines. How deep they go is likely top secret. We'll never know the true capabilities of those boats. Wow.
Oh, damn.
And we have another one.
What's
Our
that
newly
movie with
retired.
LL Cool J in it, where they in the bottom of some building or something and it flood and it sharks and stuff?
I don't know. Chat, help us out.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, but that's what
This
this made me
comment.
think of.
I am a newly retired VA RN. Congrats on your retirement. I do not feel veterans are warriors. Many shield for the empire and become cops. The revolving door, just like there's a revolving door between corporate law and CIA, by the way. But just a revolving door: veteran, soldier, officer, CO. So that's another reason why we have to consider what is their field, what is the
But people
field
who
they
become
work in.
cops, like, aim to become more cops. So they'd be like, I'm a cop and I want to become an FBI agent or a CIA agent. Like, no. Because actually, let me go back. There's a person I had to talk off the ledge because they was like, they didn't get this promotion at their job. And they was like, I just think I need to go and become a cop or a firefighter. And I was like, what? Why? He was like, I just have this longing for service. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I just feel like I need to like serve or something. I was like, you can do that in other jobs. And he was like, no, I mean, I just think like being a cop or a firefighter is not that bad. I was like, nope, because that's where it starts. First,
Yep.
you're a security officer, then you want to be a cop, then you want to be a detective, then you just start going up and up and up. And I ain't gonna talk to you no more. I'll never talk to you ever again. So you need to figure shit out. And they didn't become a cop. So
Yeah, I'm happy you were able to stop that. And I've had that same conversation, and I'm sure many of us had, and it's not always successful. And the biggest thing I come back to is, again, the political economy of it all. Why socialism has to exist, because that if the budget, the municipal budget, right, in certain cities is swallowed by like police departments, basically. That's why we talk about they exist to do everything. You're literally talking about the political economy, the base, the jobs that people have. Like there are no jobs that they can get this so-called American dream lifestyle. And so we're a bunch of men who are in a certain age. They sometimes when we talk about the diploma, don't have a certain level of education and feel like they need to work, right? And the construction jobs in Miami killing people. They don't even have water for some of these places, right? So you choose: am I going to break my back as a construction worker and die of heat stroke, or am I going to take this $70,000 bonus and go work for ICE? And of course, we know with consciousness you can never make that.
left
Right.
and right.
Well, we know with consciousness you should never be able to make
Bitch.
that decision, but most people aren't conscious. That's how the world under empire works. So
Very good. I want to bring up this
Yeah.
comment because that's exactly what I was thinking. That nigga said service, and I was like, what? And this is why we need to talk about the way that the media in the red pill bros is infiltrating access to black men. Because
Mhm.
I had to also be like, let me pay attention to what this nigga be watching, what he be doing. And he be watching random stuff on YouTube. And I'll be like, how did you get to that video that's talking about that very specific thing that feels very patriarchal and red pill bro-ish? And I think this is why he has this feeling. Like the red pill bro content is like, to be honest, for men who don't have a goal or like know who they are easily susceptible to information like this. And when you're in a state of like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in my career, or who I'm gonna be, content like that, like, you're easily susceptible to it. And so he was watching some stuff like that and has this idea of like, I need to serve my community. I have this like longing to serve. And I was like, serve what, nigga? Chicken? What are you talking about?
I hear you. Yeah.
It has created this like ideology in people, which is why it's very dangerous and why we should be paying attention to what the black men around us are watching and what they're reading. Because I had to redirect him multiple times and be like, why do you think that makes any sense? And ask him questions, like in a way of like, not persecution, but more of a like questioning of like, and what made you come to that belief? And why do you feel that way? And when I started questioning what he was watching or listening to, he stopped watching that shit. So I encourage everyone to do that, to pay attention to because I definitely feel like black men are being targeted for this type of content around being a cop, the type of like person you should be presenting yourself as, this like alpha male thing. Like he had said some shit one time that was kind of alpha male like, and I was like, where did you hear that? And he was watching a YouTube video, and I was like, turn it off. And yes, Maggie, it was somebody on my roster, but he's not gonna make it into the new year. I already foresee it
he
now.
gotta get cut off. He hasn't done enough conditioning.
I have prevented him from becoming a cop, and I have removed the alpha male content from his life. So he is doing a lot better. But I also will say, this is why I be saying that men who are kind of weak are easily brainwashed into this kind of content.
Okay. I don't want to put it on weakness. It's consciousness, but I hear you.
But he's not conscious or like doesn't have political education. And this is why I think that like your average black man is the person that we should be trying to talk to, not the folks who we know are already conscious, but like the people that you see at the barbershop, they are the ones who are most likely to fall for this shit. And I refuse. So I definitely was on him about it, and he stopped watching it. And then he realized what I was saying. He was like, actually that does make sense. But because people don't question what folks are watching or reading, they just kind of be like, that's weird. And they stop talking to them. We just write them off. We don't like question it and try to correct the behavior. They just stay that way. And I see that happen a lot. People be like, yeah, I had to cut him because but you didn't like try to help them or correct the behavior. And I don't think that that's community centered. I think even if I don't date him, my politics says that like people I'm in community with wouldn't believe those things, and he shouldn't believe them, and he doesn't even know why he believes them for real in the first place. And after I talked to him, he was like, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. But no one had even brought it up to him because people don't be thinking to do that part, and because folks don't want to do that labor either. And I understand that because I definitely had to talk to him for like 30 minutes, and not everybody wants to do that labor of like talking somebody off a ledge. I mean, like, why are you, where'd you get this from? Where'd that belief come from? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Obviously, shout out Siraj. That's why we, oops, not that. Sorry. That's why we do men's circles, Black Men Build. One of the many reasons we have them to address propaganda, things like that. What I'll add to round out the excellent analysis you laid out is it's the two sides of the same coin situation, though, because check out Jared's analysis of the new Cosby effect, but I also think black men on the liberal side of things, right, where they're being encouraged to go, they're being encouraged to go into the Democratic Party, right, are still seeing the same narrative, just a different way. Like to your point about be a waiter, or I'm seeing some people say be a sanitation worker, all professions I absolutely respect and know people who are, right? Except that is not what the Cosby Show tells you to be. That's not what Fresh Prince tells you to be. That's not what all of these shows teach black men to be. So what are black men supposed to be aspiring toward? Fatherhood, a family, a wife, kids, a home, right? Do you ever see, these things? Uncle Phil's the fucking judge in Beverly Hills. So I'm just looking for the, Terry Crews and Everybody Hates Chris was probably the representation that was closest to what most black families are dealing with, which is why that show is super popular in Brazil, one of the most popular sitcoms ever. And I just talk about, like, how many shows do you see in sitcoms where like the family's in an apartment? Like, it just doesn't happen because it's not the American dream. So
Yeah.
I do think there's the red pill framing,
Everybody
but there's
Hates
also
Chris. They
that.
was in an apartment building.
That's true. And they had land of a small, they had a tenant who was upstairs, a funeral home director and all of that. Yeah, it was an older school, but it still represents like a black family in Bed-Stuy in that era, or Chicago or somewhere else. But now, like, I'm watching a new Fresh Prince remake and I'm just like, whose family is this?
Because I said the daddy a DA, Carson doing cocaine. This is just too much.
No, now in this era, we got a lot of like this Romeo and Juliet. Not even what's the story from my pretty woman? No, I'm thinking of where they take a woman out the hood or a man out the hood and they do them up and those kind of stories. We're getting a lot of those
Like
in the black
idea of like
community now.
rescuing somebody to take them to a better life.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of like I saw Ruth and Boaz, I think was one with light skinned dude from P Valley. He's like a construction worker and he saved that's all
It's
in
the
Tyler
same
Perry's
thing, but
bag.
he's just a Christian, like literally.
Yeah. They did that. I saw me and my partner watched the show Keisha and what is it called? It's like a romance show. They're in high school and they go throughout
Oh, you talking about
relationships. He's from
Forever
the
from the Judy
Burbs.
Blume book.
Forever. It's another one. He's from the Burbs
I
and she's
really
the
like
other
that. I
single
really like
mom.
that book. I like the book. I read it like as a kid, and I like the show, but I do think it is different from the book. Like it's definitely an adaptation, but not like exactly. I do think they add like their own little spin on it, so that kind of was annoying. I don't like when people redo stories from books and they aren't close enough to what really happens. I do think it's because it's black people that they add a little extra drama and stuff in there that
Of course. And her
I wasn't
single
thinking
mom
that.
is just holding it together, but he comes from a good home and
And
it's
the
a lot.
basketball player that's finna go to college and you need to date him because he gonna have money in NIL deals. I said, child,
Yeah, man.
no,
Another
ma'am.
story, please. So yeah, we
I
get
ain't like
newer
that.
stories in this era. They're more complex. That's why, again, your doctor jumped off, but we're gonna get him on the Chappelle
They
show.
said
We're
you
gonna talk
thinking of
about it.
My Fair Lady.
Thank you. Thank you. My Fair Lady, yes, where they take somebody and yeah, it's a lot of these intro class kind of discussions. Issa Rae's whole bag really is being pro gentrification. If you look at the work, the body of work over time, it's very much this like black person can barely pay their bills, but they're just one job away from getting the thing they need, and then they can
And I
get the
also
house in the
I
hills.
hate those storylines because they're not realistic. As somebody who knows lots of people that were poor and became more middle class, they're all still struggling because the debt of being poor is so heavy. It takes you years to get out of. So they
Mhm.
also present this very false narrative that like all you gotta do is get that job and that promotion and da 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 da. When realistically, you're not gonna
Right.
your livelihood will not improve that quickly. It actually takes a while because the debt of being poor is so heavy. But I also just want to say I hope that when y'all go into the new year that you are hemming up people who watch Andrew Tate and that you are calling out the red pill bro content that your cousins are watching, because we do need to save them. And I think one of my favorite examples of community is Hey Arnold, because that little baby didn't have his parents, but he had a community in that in his house, and like all those different people that lived there were doing all different things for him, showing him all these different skills, and I really wish we had that back.
Yeah,
But
Hey
until
Arnold's
then,
another one
Hey
like
Arnold's
that.
one of my
Although
favorite ones.
same. Listen, I'm just gonna go. I love how we got the balance right now, the alt right, and I'm gonna go at the right, which are the liberals. Like it's the same thing I saw earlier today, talking about my algorithm, the Hey Arnold episode about Vietnam, and a bunch of liberals were applauding
There's an
it and
episode about
saying like,
Vietnam.
there's an episode about Mr. I don't want to say his name because I forgot it, but there's the Vietnamese border in the boarding house that his grandparents run. He's got glasses and a blue shirt, like a Vietnamese unk. The chat can help me out with the name. But there's an episode where they talk about the Vietnam War, why he's in, I think they're in San Francisco. So why is he in San Francisco in the first place? And the reason is because during the Vietnam War, there was a bad war in the north, and it came south, and his daughter got taken up. So he goes to the helicopter, and a U.S. soldier sees him hold up his daughter, and he gives the U.S. soldier his daughter, and the soldier says from the helicopter, San Francisco, and then takes the child away. And so the whole episode, he's like trying to find the kid, and the end of the episode, Arnold finds his daughter for him. So get white savior, love
I
Arnold,
do
love him,
remember
love him,
this.
love him.
I do
But
remember this. Like,
the white boy finds the Vietnamese man's been here for years. And I guess, I don't know, maybe it is somewhat
all of a
realistic.
sudden,
He can
Arnold
use the
knows he
internet or
has
something, but I don't know.
money.
Arnold finds it somehow. Arnold finds it. Mr. Wynn, thank you very much. Chat,
I think
appreciate
this
y'all.
also has to
Mr.
do with the
Wynn.
fact that Arnold was nosy as fuck. He was all up in them people's business on that show. And
Well,
I
he
was
was
like,
great, but the whole point at the end of the day was they don't tell you anything about the war, and people are applauding this like they almost
yeah.
took it off the air because the exec thought it wouldn't be popular with the kids. I'm like, brother, you don't know nothing about what about the Vietnam War? He said if you go on Wikipedia, it says my 9-year-old child asked, "What was Vietnam about?" And that's how I knew the episode. I'm like, your child can watch that episode and still know nothing about what Vietnam was about. Like, what? They didn't teach me nothing. So
One day we need to have a talk about the way that these corporations put these TV shows out that were definitely not for children. Because watching them over again, I was like, this is not children content.
yeah. Well,
like Hey Arnold, the Rugrats, baby, this is not children content.
I think it's children's content that adults are meant to be able to enjoy. I think that's the best way to look at it, because I do think
it's geared towards adults.
Yeah, I think the fact that we can enjoy it in both ways is kind of how it's constructed. But this has
my mom
been
wasn't watching it with me though, so I thought that was interesting too. Like that both parents and children can enjoy it. My mom was not watching that shit. She was doing something else.
right working. Well, that's I mean, the other thing is you can leave it on and the kids can be entertained. And I don't think it was as pro cop back in the 90s with Rugrats and that as the content I see now. But maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to go back and check. Because I know a different world.
I don't think it was as pro cop.
Yeah, A Different World has the worst pro cop episode of any black sitcom. We got to do an episode on that. The most anti-black episodes of black sitcoms, and I'm down because I put the Different World episode where they get arrested. That's someone else help me because I think that's number one. I don't got much.
I know what you're talking about. The episode when they went to jail.
Well, it's on YouTube. I point it out all the time. I'm like, this is how you know white people wrote those shows. That's that episode crazy. But anyway, Amber, I appreciate it. Last Friday show of the year. Shout out Geechee. Josh helps us out. Shout out
with the
whole
run sheet. We
remix
really
crew.
appreciate you.
We appreciate you, Josh. Appreciate y'all in the chat as always. Last thing.
You got New Year's plans, Lorik?
Not yet. I do have the plans to continue plugging this though. I will continue to plug the study guide because that's what I'm gonna be spending my time on. So if y'all haven't checked it out, I'm gonna be reading it. It's done now. So I'm just gonna be enjoying it. It's in the chat, it's live on our website. Like I said, please check it out. Before we go, briefly, some of the articles, as I mentioned before, that we added. We had an updated article on Dr. Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X in Africa, confronting Malcolm's patriarchy, and then some further reading And we had a lot of folks from this channel help out. So again, just shout out some people: Todd, Stephen Burrows, Jared Ball, Dr. Sundiata, James Pope. A lot of
Yeah, we
folks who
appreciate y'all. Like I'm
inspired
at Black
this.
Man Bill too.
You are excellent articles. Definitely check them out if you
Shout out to
have some
Siraj for
time.
watching.
Shout out Siraj, St. Louis, of course. Siraj is going to be one of the main ones putting this out in the community. So definitely read through. Let me know what you think. There are
Also,
definitely
I do want to
pieces in
say,
here we
I
want
know
to
you
add
put
to.
up the comment by mistake, but I do want to say I agree with Siraj's comment about Black men deserve journalism, not propaganda. And
Absolutely.
I really hope we see more of that in the new
We
year.
all do. Oh, and of
Because
course,
niggas over 30 not having literacy about basic propaganda is gonna drive me crazy.
Absolutely. And a special shout out to Baba A. Peter Bailey. He is Malcolm's comrade from the OAU, for those who don't know. And he also was somebody who helped us with this guide who I got to speak through. And so just really proud of this work.
I'm proud of you, Lord. Just a
So
lot.
check it out.
Y'all really did y'all big one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, that's what I got. Again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get through these books right here. All of these. Excellent.
I'm gonna
Excellent
go get
books.
back on the metro.
And you're going to figure out how the buses work in your undisclosed location.
We're gonna see what happens, child. I don't know, man.
We got the telethon next week, though, so we'll be back. Don't
I will be back.
go
And I'll be
anywhere. Stay
discussing
subscribed.
all the things I was doing this week at that.
Check out our affiliate channels. Check out old episodes of all our content. It's fantastic. And as Chairman Fred Hampton once said, as Jared and us at BLM say, peace if you're willing to fight for it. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa.
Remix. 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 Remix.